Today is the 28th of August 2026. Have I achieved my weight goal? No. I did the app today about an hour ago, so you can see 84, 6 there. I got the light. So maybe I have to do it the other way around. I have to take the camera off. So, is it any better? Yeah. So, I did actually another one today, but as you can see, well, I took another one, which is where here. Does it not work? You can see. Is it the other way around? On the app, I lost like comparing it. Okay, it doesn't matter, but I didn't lose like 1 pound. So you can see how much water I have in my body there, which is 42.5%. So the phone switched itself off. So my body fat is 30%, my protein is low, and I'm actually taking 80% protein a day, which I'm a bit surprised. My bone mass is 7, which is low, 2.2, which is low. Okay, you're obese. Me. What? 34 kilos overweight. Your muscle is 12. Your fat is 21. My fat, sorry. Okay, then we can go down. It says I should be eating 1,500 calories, which I am. I should be drinking 2,346 mils. My water drinking goal. Why does it say a male? It's bloody crazy. This is all jammed up. It's jammed. Why? history. Okay, this is my history of how much of weights I have been out for the whole maybe 6 months. So that was March. I was what, 87? I can't even remember myself. I think too many deep pan Papa John pizzas. Actually, in 2022, I was 80 kilos. So, if I go back to the app, which is here. Oh no, everyone can see my password. I haven't got a faintest clue what it says there now. Anyway. Oh, God. That's really screwed up, isn't it? Well, and this is the scale that I use. So it's actually under 20 pounds, and the bigger one is like 2,000 pounds to buy, and there's another one for 500. So I said I might as well just go buy this one. It's cheaper, does what it says that the other ones do. So I save some money. So, your device is damaged by a virus. Remove virus. I think that's a hoax. Do you think this is a hoax? Do you think this is a scam? I don't know, it's on my phone. Was it the website that I went to? I think if I press remove the virus, it's going to give me the virus. So I said I'm not going to go. Your device is infected by 5 viruses. I'm not going to say who it is. I think it did it. But They're only beans, silly. Yeah, they're only beans. Yeah, because now it's perfect. They're just playing games on the phone. They're so childish, you know. Grown adults being so childish. Anyway, that's my weights training, my weight loss diary for August of 2026. I haven't really lost a lot of weight. This year, probably, I would say 3 kilos, not much, for the entire year. So, I will just need to focus on self, yeah. Make sure my health is not hexed. So I'll see if that my health is hexed. My health goals, are they hexed? If so, who is it by? Is my health goals hexed? Oh, it's got a big yes there. And how many people hex my health? How many people? 4, really. And what's their names? B, Barbara Sewing, and who else? Christian Sewing, and who else? Elon Musk, and the rest of this. Colonel Michael Lawson. Really? Do they want to be flooded again? Because I summon floods, I summon the demons to flood them. It does work. You just summon a demon to flood your enemies, and that's it. Depends how long you've known them for. I've known my demons for almost 20 years, so we have a good relationship. Good friendship. So, just to punish my enemies. So they buy their nice house or whatever they do, and they say, oh, it's so nice, isn't it? And then the rain comes, the flash floods come, destroy their entire home, destroy their office. Their office is full of water, their home is full of water. Because they keep cursing my health. What am I going to do with them? Okay, why do they curse my health? Which is another point, since we're on the health journey on this video. Why do they curse my health? Because I am married to a Roman. And what's that got to do with that? It's got to do what with them? Because we oppose what? Oppose what? Good musical. That's so funny. Is she just on music? Why is she just on music? Because I love songs. Oh, waffle. And what? Why is she opposing it? Because she cannot write a song to her husband. Okay. So what's it got to do with me? Still. Okay, Barbara Stevens been married for 20 odd years or more to her husband. And she can't write him a love song. And he's slaving in the office for 30, 40 years, trying to put a roof over her head and her kids, yeah? And she can't write him a love song. So what's that got to do with me? What has that got to do with me and Roman? Nothing, yeah? Nothing. So she's jealous, is it? The evil eye. The both of them jealous? Or the one? Who is it? Is both or one? It is two. They're both jealous. He's jealous. But no. He can't be jealous because number one is his wife is supposed to write him a love song for putting food on the table, yeah, and clothes on her back, yeah. And she doesn't appreciate his hard work in her life, right? And she is ashamed of herself that she doesn't have any deep emotions to her husband, and yet they have 5 children together. So they're not a childless couple, right? They got 5 kids together. So I don't understand why their marital problems is my problem. I don't understand why they have a lot of resentment towards my music. So why don't they go and have a resentment to somebody else? Maybe they killed Dolly Parton when she was writing about her husband and her love songs to him. I don't know. So they got marital issues. That's what I would say. I would say seek counselling, and some people, they're jealous of other people's marriages because they don't have it in their own. And why they don't have it in their own is because they never loved each other. They never cared about each other. I don't know if it's an arranged marriage that they have, but they probably wasn't friends in the first place. So there's a difference. There's a difference between having a friendship with somebody and then after a couple of years you get married. And there's other people that get married to somebody that they don't actually know. They marry a total stranger based on how much money they got, or lust, basically, and they don't really know the person inside. It's a deep and emotional song because someone has been friends with someone for a very long time, and then they got married. They write songs about each other, all their feelings, and that's how it goes, yeah? So, there's nothing to be jealous of, it's an education. Uh, anyway, stop hexing my house or you're going to get flooded with water. I mean, in our secondary school, me and my brother used to go to St. Philip Howard in Poplar, the Isle of Dogs. The children there used to do water bombs with balloons. And they used to pelt children with water. I think it was another school we went to as well called St. Ignatius. And it's all Catholic schools I went to because I was raised Catholic. So now I do it to my enemies, except it's a flesh flood and it's a demonic because the demons do it. I work with King Solomon's demons and it works for me. My ancestral familiar is Orbis. I've seen Orbis. I've seen a full solid form being of Orbis, the demon who looks like a horse. He was in my bedroom in 2015, around about 4 a.m. in the morning. He spoke to me, he was talking to me, and he was actually lying down next to me. I couldn't move, I couldn't scream. I was paralyzed. He was about 6'9", 320 pounds, 340 pounds, ginormous giant. He had wavy hair down to his ankles, like a horseman, yeah. But he was standing on his 2 feet, yeah, his 2 hoofs. He was standing, looking around in my room and saying, "Do you know that your life could be more than this?" And I said, "Really?" So I don't remember what I agreed to. So I found my life in my body just draining, like it was a vampire. Then I never seen him again. So it was about 10 years ago that 10, 11 years ago that I saw Orbis in my room. It's almost like seeing an angel, except it's a fallen angel. So I must be up pretty much in a higher standing, in high regard to Lucifer, for him to send down his fallen angel to see me and give me a message. He was the messenger of Satan, the messenger of Lucifer. And he gave me a message in 2015, except I can't remember what it was. I really don't know what it was. I've never actually won. I mean, he told me it must be in my subconscious mind somewhere. What is it? Okay. I don't know what that is. Evil to the Bible Belt. Well, they've been flooded all the time since 2014. So, Satan will destroy the Bible Belt in America because it's his kingdom. The fallen angels rule this earth. They were thrown out of heaven onto the earth, Lucifer and his demons, to rule earth. Not Elon Musk, not any politician, not Andy Burnham. It was Lucifer. Not Donald Trump rules this earth. And all the storms that are happening in Europe and America, and the fires, the wildfires happening in Western Europe, they're trapping NATO forces, NATO soldiers. They're put in the midst of these wildfires. Now when the wildfires jump onto the area where the NATO forces are, they're going to be burned. Because the NATO's not talked, they don't know about the climate change, they don't know about the wildfires. So this guy called Mark Rutte, he's actually putting NATO forces in the middle of wildfires. And he does, I've seen the map, I've seen the NATO maps. Anyway, it was to do with my health, not NATO. But I could do another video on NATO. But it wasn't even supposed to be about demonology. It's supposed to be, you could say this is a video about my health, my physical health, and my mental health, stress. So, this is Lucifer's world, Lucifer's planets, and humanity needs to start bowing to Lucifer, because there will be a demonic natural disaster to save Lucifer's kingdom, to save his servants of him only. Not the bankers, not the politicians, not Donald Trump, not the NATO forces. This is Lucifer's world. There are lots of witches in this world. There are lots of Satanists in this world that are looking on YouTube, and they're watching the news, and they're hearing everything that's going on. And these people have no regard for nature, the natural world, for another human being. All they care about is power and dominating other people and ruining people's lives. They started off targeting the poor for many, many centuries, for many, many years in Britain with their policy making. Then they started off on the refugees and immigration, and their wars overseas make refugees. Where they're supposed to go die. They're bombing their homes where they live in the Middle East, in Asia, in Africa. Where they're supposed to be, die. Is that it? So the Western world can rule over them. I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen. You know, first they did this big genocide in World War II. Some mad, crazy fuck was talking to King George King George V? And King George V was some nutcase, like this King Charles, and his father, King Philip. Was it Prince Philip?
all nutters, thinking that they're better than other people. Then they say they're thinking that they're better than other royal families in Europe. You know, the Habsburg dynasty had to renounce their throne because of the British royal family, so they wouldn't get bombed. One of the most mighty, powerful dynasties in the whole of Europe was the Habsburg dynasty. And because of the British royal family and the way that they are, they're mental, having a war all the time. They had to give up the throne. You know, I'm really pissed off with the British royal family. They think that they're everything in the world when they're nothing. Look at that tiny little bitty country that they have compared to Germany. I mean, look at it. It's just a drop in the ocean. And they think they're big and sophisticated. Where's the empire? Up their arse, that's where it is. And what happens to India? They fought back and kicked you out. What happens in America? The other Indians, the Native Americans, went and kicked you out too, yeah? So what have you got now? Nothing. And what you want to do, have this manpower with your little proxy wars, funding wars all over the world for what? The British Empire. What empire? You have nothing. All you do is take taxpayers' money. There's no NHS. The staff are starving. What they do in the hospitals, you haven't got the faintest clue what they do in the night. And you don't even know who runs the hospitals in the night. There's so much of shit happening in the NHS hospitals and you don't even care about it. And you're talking about gangs. There's gangs in the hospital. Yeah, and all you care about is yourselves. That's it. And how to join the other gangs in the world and take taxpayers' money to pay for your wars abroad. So you're bombing Russia. It's got nothing to do with you. You want to colonize Russia. Well, you ain't going to colonize Russia at all. I can tell you that. You're not going to ever colonize Russia. You're never ever going to colonize my homeland. I see what you did to my parents, what you did to my grandparents. Now I have no home. I have no home. My grandparents don't have no home. They were stateless. And then you keep on doing this Cold War scenario all the time. You know what? Adolf Hitler should have raped your grandmothers and killed them off because that's what he wanted. Because Russia helped you win World War II and now you treat them like a friggin' pariah. You also treated me the same way because my grandmother is Russian. And I tell you, all my cousins that died in World War II and World War One, to free your British asses, I can go and summon with necromancy to kick your ass right now. So many people have died. Even the military died, the innocent people died, the trees died too, yeah? All this karma you've done, it's going to come back to you. I have a lot of powerful friends. A lot of powerful friends. And your plans are never going to work. I have other friends in the occult. I don't talk about them. But when they support me, your entire kingdom is going to fall. And you'll have nothing because there's no people alive. like what you did in America with your ICE agents, and you call the Marines to kill them all. I haven't been to the USA, but I watched your street cameras, and there's hardly anybody there. And you went into the hospitals, and I think you killed off all the healthcare staff that weren't white. What's that got to do with anything? And some of the healthcare staff that were white, they were protecting their African American, foreign, and Hispanic staff from the military. And they were saying that you can't do this to them. And they have had to fight and argue with the Marines, the military, in the hospital, just to kill somebody. The military were there to just kill people who were not white Americans in America. Okay, you've got no health staff. What are you going to do now? You're going to get people from overseas to come to the USA? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. I tell you what you do. You make sure that the Americans suffer for what they did with the ICE agents in America, for what Peter Hegseth did, and what the other people did. Okay, how many people are going to agree with Donald Trump when it comes to the next election? Because all of his voters, they died in floods and he didn't care. So he's not actually going to get elected. He thinks he is going to get elected. He won't get elected. Anyway, the Americans give me a lot of stress. I don't like talking to them. The ones that I do know, they're in the Pentagon. Very, very upset with them. Very upset with Ursula Vance too. I think she's the one who wanted her husband to bomb Iran, because Iran is a part of ancient India, and they are classified as Indo-Aryan Brahmins in India, and she is a Dalit, and she doesn't like them. Because the Dalits are originally from Ethiopia. They're from the Ethiopian Empire. And she has a problem being a black woman. Which isn't my problem. It's her problem. Just like Barbara Saving and Christian Saving, the CEOs of Deutsche Bank, have a problem with my music. So, look at yourself. Improve yourselves. Don't look at other people and begrudge them or be jealous of them because they seem to have a better life than you. Look at your own life and improve it. That's what I would say. If someone isn't a doctor in America and they're white Americans, they need to look at themselves. Why didn't they go to medical school? Why didn't they study? They think, what, it falls out of the sky, being a medical doctor or being a medical nurse. It falls out of the sky and what, you don't have no training. I myself had 40 years of care experience with my parents and my children, and I was a child carer at the age of 10. But when people look at me, they think, oh, why is she so intelligent? They don't know my childhood. They know nothing. And the most intelligent people are the people who were child carers. They had to look after their parents. They had to look after their siblings. It's the people that have the hardest lives that seem to be the most intelligent. Because life is an experience. Anyway, I'll see you on the next reading. The next talk.